AJ the Nerd here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to get all the nerdy content you ever need every Wednesday and Saturday. Now today I'm going to be talking about the mid-season finale of Season 2 of ReZero. And yes, this is the last one for a while because it's not coming back till January and Anyways, before I start, obviously I want to mention there will be spoilers in this review, discussion, or whatever, so if you have not caught up, press pause on this video and come back to it when you get caught up. So, the previous episode ended with Satella showing up in that graveyard place with all the witches. And so I was really excited to see what would happen in this episode. This episode was very talky, and I didn't mind it at all. It was so good, and this episode actually reminded me why this anime is one of my favorite anime of all time. And honestly, it was not in my top 5 during season 1. I loved it, but it was not my top 5. But because of season 2, it's in my top 5 favorite anime now. And this episode was so emotional and amazing in regards to Subaru and his character development. And being like, you know what? I want to be defined by more than just return by death. I want my life to mean something more than just my death. He wants to have self-worth and love himself and be more than just his ability to return by death, because to him, that's all he's ever had any value of, is that he can return by death. In his real world life, he thought he had no value, and in this, he thought the only reason he had value was return by death. And he became determined, partly because of the witches' care for him and the people around him, that he wants to be more than that. And that just, I don't know what it was, but this episode just my heart. It made me just love the show so much more. And the fact that he tried to kill himself by, biting off his own tongue was really gross. Not as gruesome as the other episodes, obviously, but still, just the thought of it. But the fact that they didn't let him die, I don't know what it is. I just freaking love that there are these group of powerful ass witches that all love Subaru. Yes, for their own selfish motives, but it's still kind of cute, and I think it's really funny that Subaru is so lovable that even freaking evil ass witches love him. So, and then his stuff with Satella was so interesting because he was like, I don't understand you. I'm going to save you. Satella was like, I want you to love yourself because I love you and blah, 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 blah. And who knew that freaking Satella telling him these things would be what would motivate him to decide to love himself. I just find that really interesting. And the fact that he said, I'm going to save you, is so interesting to me because in the very beginning of the show, he hated her. He hated what Satella did to him. And it's just such an interesting change for him to be like, instead of hating you, I'm going to save you. I'm going to make you better. And I just find that was such a great way to show that he's grown so much as a person, because all he cared about was Amelia. Now, I have my own theories about Amelia and Satella's connection or whatever, but I think it's interesting that he had come to that conclusion that he was going to save her too. I don't know how, but he is. And I like his motivation to find another way out of this, and how much it annoys everybody else, like Roswell, who basically was basically said, I became entranced by Satella 400 years ago. Obviously, he didn't say the word Satella, but we all know that's what he was saying when he was saying he was entranced by those eyes 400 years ago. And I kind of had the theory and the feeling that all of Roswell's motivations had to do with Satella, and now you know that is true. And it's really interesting because when I first started watching the show, I thought Roswell was just going to be this annoying bit character that was kind of funny for his ridiculousness, and I never thought that he would be as important to the show as he has been. And it's just really interesting to kind of see how maddening he actually is. And it will be interesting to see if Satella also drives Subaru crazy at some point and he becomes like Roswell. I really hope not. I think that Subaru now has a lot more drive within him, but we'll see. But this episode was just really emotional and a really great way to end the mid-season, and I'm really excited for it to come back in January. And I will see you guys on Saturday for another video. Bye!